Hey folks, welcome back to the cabin. I just got up here about 5 minutes ago and it's ice cold in here, but not to worry. I got something that's going to help us out. You can see I just started the fire on the wood burning stove. It's really not going that strong yet, and I'm going to have to talk quick and show you what I got because I don't want that stove to get too warm. This week on the internet I was shopping and coincidentally I heard my notifications go off on my phone, and there was a subscriber asked me, Carl, what are you going to do to help push that heat across the room when you're using your wood burning stove? The wood burning stove does come with a very efficient fan on the back side of it. However, that fan uses AC power, and I would have to hook up my inverter to my solar, and it would draw off a bunch of power from my battery. He said he didn't think it would take that much power, but regardless, I want to keep that battery as charged as I possibly can in the winter months, because here in the north, the sunlight that I have is very limited and I don't want to draw that bank down. So this is my resolve to that issue. In the mail, I purchased this little fan. For those of you who have wood burning stoves, I'm sure you already know about this, but this stove is really cool. It works, or this fan is really cool. It works off of, I think it's milliamps or millivolts. That is generated when you set it on a warm surface. It sends electrical charge up through this base, through this aluminum and different type of alloy fins that are here, into this wire, and then in turn it turns the fan blade. It doesn't use any power at all. So check this out. Let's set this on a stove and we'll see how long in real time that it takes to get this thing going. So the stove isn't the warmest yet, but I'll get down here next to this because I don't think it's going to take very long to get going. For those of you who have never had one of these and you're wondering, Carl, where do I place this thing for optimum performance? You always want to place it at the back of the stove and then have it push the air across the face of the top here. And in this cabin it's going to work out perfectly because behind you is the hallway where my bedroom is, and I can never seem to get enough hot air moving that direction. This fan has smaller blades. It's not going to push as much air. You can get fans. If you notice, it's real slowly starting to turn right now. There we go. There's no power needed. There's no batteries, nothing. And as this gets warmer, that'll spin faster. But like I was saying, my bedroom is on the back side of this hallway behind you, and I never have anything to force the air back in there. And so I'm going to experiment around with this. We'll give this an adequate amount of time to use. This weekend specifically, it's very cold outside, so we'll see how it operates, and we'll see if it really is as successful as I thought. And I noticed there's one other thing that's here inside this box. And when I bought this particular fan, it came with a magnetic thermostat, which you can put on your stovepipe. And the significance for having a thermostat is this fan is never supposed to go over 345 degrees Celsius. So that's like 600 some degrees Fahrenheit. And for me, I never have my stove running that hot. This is a small cabin. There's not that much air that needs to be moved around in here. And I usually get baked out of house and home in here because this thing just puts off so much heat. This fan, like I was saying before, has a smaller set of blades on it. It was very reasonably priced on the internet. I think I picked it up for $45. Looked on Amazon, and there it was. It came with the magnetic thermometer. And if you have a bigger home, or if you are a bigger cabin that you're heating, obviously take advantage of getting a fan with bigger blades, and it'll circulate more hot air through your living area. But right now, I can feel this heat being pushed off this wood burning stove right now. I can feel it all the way out here, and I've got a good volume of air that's pushing through. So this will be a good addition to the cabin. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'll go ahead and I'll let you know here in a couple hours how it's worked. We'll give it a chance to get going. But in the meanwhile, check out some of these photos that I got on my trail cameras this week. This is pretty cool. Okay, so last night the little fan ended up working out perfect. Some of the benefits that I noticed from using that fan is there were no cold pockets in the cabin. All that heat was evenly distributed throughout the cabin, and we were able to sleep comfortable. And I noticed that things were a lot more efficient in there. The boys, even when they slept up in the loft, they said that it was so much more nicer than the normal. Otherwise, the heat always just raised to one pocket, and you know, either I'd freeze and they'd boil, or it just didn't feel comfortable at all. So it's well worth the investment. If you get a chance, pick up one of those little fans. If you have a wood burning stove and you don't already have one, they're well worth the money invested. And like I alluded to earlier in the video, I just have the small fan with the small blades. If you got a bigger house, if you're heating up more square footage, by all means they do make a little bit bigger fan. Just when you purchase it, just look to see how much volume of air that fan is capable of pushing through. So just wanted to share this quick little video with you. I know it's a pretty simple little thing, but as you know, I've had Lyme disease and I haven't been feeling the sharpest, so just wanted to start out gradual. We'll do these little videos and eventually work ourselves up to something a little bit bigger. I did make an investment this last week. I have the floor that I want to put in the cabin. So weather permitting, if I can get up there before the snow falls, should have a video coming out pretty soon on that. So we'll see how it goes. All right, well, thank you for joining us this week. We'd like to thank our subscribers and like to welcome all the new subscribers, and thank you for your support. We'll catch you next week on Carl's Off the Grid.